Anand confirmed that a few international airlines which use the Boeing 737 MAX 8 operate out of Piarco International Airport.
President, the answer to that is yes. We do have American Airlines, and I think is United operates these 737 in our airspace.
And Finance Minister Colm Imbert says there is no need to panic about Caribbean Airlines' fleet of aircraft. This as he condemned a newspaper report on the matter, accusing it of distorting the facts. In a statement Tuesday, Minister Imbert said there was unnecessary panic being created around CAL's plans to purchase a fleet of Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft. Mr. Imbert said the true facts are that CAL is not currently flying Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft, adding the airline's current fleet is comprised of Boeing 737-800s, which he described as being among the safest airplanes in the world. The Environmental Management Authority has been investigating reports of an oil spill in the vicinity of the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain Tuesday. The MA said it's been working along with its partner agencies, including the Ministry of Energy and Energy Affairs, Institute of Marine Affairs, the Coast Guard, Maritime Services Division, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management and OSH to determine the source of the spill. The MA said its Emergency Response and Investigations Unit immediately activated its protocol procedures and had been conducting shoreline assessments for any impact and would continue to monitor the situation. Attorney Sharon Rowley says there are still too many women who have no idea what equality means, despite the strides the country has made toward gender equality. Mrs. Rowley, who's also the wife of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, says women must be able to live lives filled with opportunity, free from discrimination and free from physical and mental abuse. She was speaking on the theme #Balance for Better at the Association of Female Executives of Trinidad and Tobago's annual Women of Influence Awards and Mentorship function at the Hyatt Regency Tuesday.
We clearly realized that we weren't making the progress that we should have been making. The theme was Press for Progress. This year we are back to equality, balance for better.
In her view, an empowered woman is someone who knows her strengths and isn't afraid to embrace them. Mrs. Rowley stressed the importance of a good education to the school children in the audience.
Develop the expertise so that you can be the best qualified person in the field that you have chosen. Work and make your own money so that you have financial independence. I'm an attorney. I make my own money. I have my own bank account. And I certainly don't have to ask the Prime Minister for money.
In news of sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association isn't confirming nor denying reports of possible failed drugs tests by certain members of the national football team currently in training under head coach Dennis Lawrence. The team has been hard at work preparing for a crucial upcoming friendly with Wales in Cardiff on March 20th, and as part of this country's anti-doping program, all members of the team underwent drugs tests on March 7th and 8th. The results of those tests have not been made public by the TTFA, who stated that the players have been spoken to and their clubs have been written to. The team is set to depart for Wales on Sunday, with the final squad to be named by Friday. The TTFA added that FIFA and CONCACAF's regulations require compliance with anti-doping from all football associations internationally and will continue its medical testing leading into upcoming international competitions such as the CONCACAF Gold Cup, CONCACAF Nations League and 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign. And that brings us to the end of News Now on TTT. I'm Sandra Maraj. Have a good morning.
On any given day, at any given time,
you can have your say on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Call in, text in, send us an email.
All our shows are fully interactive.
Whether we're talking politics, sports,
current affairs, social issues,
culture, and the arts, stay in the know
with our daily news bulletin and breaking news updates.
We are committed to keeping you informed about the world around you.
And yes, we entertain you too with the best Kaiso,
steel pan, and local and regional music. We are your address for talk. Talk City 91.1 FM and TalkCity91FM.com.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to another edition of the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Carrie is with me this morning. Carrie, no Lisa this morning again?
No Lisa this morning again because she has some things to do under the other cap of CEO of TTT.
Yeah, she's such a busy woman.
I know, right? I don't know where she gets the time
I think
to sleep.
she slept here last night. I saw her this morning. And oh my goodness, Lisa, you looked wonderful.
For somebody who spent the night at the office?
Probably she did. So how are you? How was your evening yesterday?
My evening yesterday was very productive actually. I got a lot of work done in regards to my other ventures, and I actually prepared some stuff for TTT as well.
Really?
For some things
what are you doing
we
for
are
us?
hoping to... No, that's going to stay a secret for now. Some things to come down the pipeline, but when it comes out, it'll be very exciting and something definitely we would look forward to presenting to the public.
Okay, so that is something to look forward to from Carrie. Carrie, it was raining a lot yesterday.
It was indeed.
Yeah,
which is
dry season.
It's supposed to be dry season, but for some reason we get in unusual amount of rain.
And we'll continue to see what happens, because somebody asked me yesterday if I think it was going to flood, and I'm like, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt not. This time, considering how much sunshine we're getting, I mean, some showers in between.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good. Yeah. All right. So some more news coming out of this Ethiopian plane crash that killed 157 people. Well, the European Union and India are two countries which now have banned the Boeing 737 MAX planes from flying over its airspace. Now, those are just two set of countries. From a list of countries which are now coming out and saying that they are not going to allow these planes to fly over their airspace.
Considering what had happened and the tragedy that it is, it's a good move, I would say, in regards to that, because again, safety is of prime importance, and we need to ensure that the general public and passengers as well as crew, in a safe environment in regards to flights. Yeah,
well, back in Trinidad, the first Boeing 737 MAX 8 airplane is scheduled for delivery in December of this year. This is according to Finance Minister Colm Imbert, who is saying, however, that there is no need to panic as Caribbean Airlines has enough time to ensure that alternative arrangements are made if this model is found to be unsafe, which is very important, as you mentioned, safety.
Right.
So we continue to look out to hear what is happening. With that, the minister also assured that at this time, we do not have any 737 MAX 8 aircraft in this country. We are only using the Boeing 737-800s. Yeah, so right now, there is no need to panic.
Well, at this point in time.
But it's something that we would continue to monitor here, of course. Some good news is that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, he does not have to undergo any form of surgery at this time. So he posted a picture to his Facebook page yesterday with his cardiologist, and he captured no need for surgery, but he will remain under observation for a few more days, and then he would return home. Remember, he left the country recently to go check out a heart condition that he thought was probably there.
And probably that he would need surgery to correct, but fortunately he does not have to get surgery, so that's good news for the Prime Minister himself, and of course good news for the administration.
And he did say heartfelt thanks to everybody who would have wished him a speedy recovery and all the very best. And it's good to hear that the Prime Minister is in good health, like a person or not, when it comes to somebody's health.
Yes, that's right. We're still human beings at the end of the day, and, it's just common decency to want the best for somebody and not wish them ill, despite what your beliefs are or what your, who you support in regards to politics.
So there's also an interesting story that I was reading online. It came out of the Special Select Committee of Parliament. So as you know, they are talking about the Sexual Offences Act Amendment Bill. So they met on Tuesday, and Independent Senator Dr. Varma Diyal Singh made an interesting suggestion that pedophiles should be chemically castrated.
Castrated?
So I think that is an interesting conversation that we'd look to have.
That is a very interesting conversation.
But I would like
maybe a little bit controversial, because of course there would be people on both sides of the fence.
But I would like people to share their thoughts. Do you think that pedophiles should be chemically castrated? You can go onto our Facebook page, TTT Live Online, and share your thoughts. And, we would look to have a conversation on that. And, what does this mean? Would this even be considered?
Would it be? And, there's always, would the punishment, so to say, of that magnitude, would it deter other individuals who may have those tendencies to perpetrate such acts?
Well, hopefully just talking about it will deter people from wanting to do that.
That's right, because I can't imagine what it would be like, being chemically castrated or otherwise.
Exactly. All right, Carrie, it's time for the traffic update.
All right, let's take a look at our traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
We're on the Beetham Highway right now, and as we can see on that westbound lane heading into the city of Port of Spain, there seems to be a considerable volume of vehicles heading in that direction, but they seem to be flowing at this point in time as we approach the traffic light there, which is common to have a little bit of a backup, but nothing unusual for this time of morning. Looking across into the other lane, we can see that there's pretty much zero traffic heading in that direction. So for those heading in the east or heading toward the south of the country, when they get to that interchange there down at Grand Bazaar, there is no congestion at this point in time. But heading into the city of Port of Spain, as we see the number of vehicles heading in here, but there's a decent flow, so that's good news for those of you heading out at this point in time. Remember, you can take us with you on Talk City 91.1 FM, and we can keep you company until 8 a.m. this morning. All right, and that's a wrap for this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
A lot in store for you today. When we come back from the break, we'll be heading to the Northwest Regional Health Authority to talk organ donation and transplant. Dr. Bridget Elcock and Magda Baksh are with us this morning. And you feel free to wave at the camera. The camera was on you. And we're also talking about the National Workplace Policy on Sexual Harassment. Important conversation to have. Sabrina Gomez and Sangeeta Bundu are here with us this morning. So two interesting conversations, that and much more today, Gary.
Yeah, definitely a lot happening, but we'll be right back after this short break.
TTT News, delivering more news at more times to more people. TTT News, reporting on the people, events, and issues that affect your life. TTT News, online and fully interactive. TTT News, connect.
Hate rats.
Your child's safety is top priority.
Hi, Miss Silly. Thanks a mille. I'll be back by 10. Bye, T.
Be very cautious when choosing a caregiver. Don't let this be your horror story.
A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Reach further when you advertise with TTT. Suite 100, Next 99.1, and at Talk City 91.1 FM. Whether it's television, radio, or social media, our stations belong to the only broadcast network with 100% coverage across Trinidad and Tobago. That's a fact. From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, Crown Point to Charlottesville, every household in TNT can easily access our signal. TTT remains the only broadcaster with live capability from multiple locations in the country, making us the most dependable source of information for events of national importance. Find us on any smart device at TTT Live Online. Are you ready to reach further with your advertising? Contact our sales team now. Call us at 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. So we're going to talk a little bit about healthcare. As you know, on March 14th, we commemorate World Kidney Day. The month of March is World Kidney Month, and we want to raise some awareness for that. But we also want to talk a little bit about organ donation and transplant here in Trinidad and Tobago, and to give you some health tips, some health and wellness tips. I have with me Dr. Bridget Elcock, Straker, consultant in anesthesia and intensive care, NWRHA, and Magda Baksh, who is the general manager, promotions, research, and planning. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning.
So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about organ donation and transplant. I know there is a unit at the Ministry of Health. How is that going?
Well, that is at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, National Organ Transplant Unit. They are mandated to promote kidney donation and kidney transplantation. They are vertical service from the Ministry of Health. In the various public hospitals, Port of Spain, San Fernando, Mount Hope, Eric Williams, as well as Sandy Grande and Tobago, there are teams of people known as TPMs, or Transplant Procurement Managers, and the role of these people is to try to look for persons who have the potential to be organ donors. Why? Because kidney disease is a major burden internationally as well as nationally.
Yeah.
Kidney disease, many people don't recognize that they have two little bean-shaped organs in the back of their upper flanks, known as kidneys, and they have many important health functions. There are 6 main functions in terms of maintaining your blood pressure, regulating the salts in your blood, getting rid of waste, making sure your bones are healthy, making sure you don't get anemic. And so these organs are very important, and many people don't recognize there's a problem with it until there is 85 to 95% damage to the kidneys. So there are 2 stages in terms of kidney problems. You can have the acute kidney injury, which can happen in relation to certain illnesses, certain infections, certain things like dehydration, an accident where you've lost a lot of blood, and or drugs that you take can cause an acute injury to the kidney. If this is not recognized early and dealt with, this disease can progress and become chronic kidney injury. So we have AKI, which is the acute problem, which is reversible, and that is killing about 1.7 million people every year around the world.
And from what I was reading, it's the 6th fastest growing cause of death.
Yes. And chronic kidney injury, if you don't recognize it and treat it early, deal with it, manage your lifestyle, which Ms. Bash will tell us about. If you don't do these things, then you're going to progress to chronic kidney disease. This has several stages, from stage 1 to stage 5. Many people only recognize, hey, I have a problem when I'm in stage 5 and I need dialysis.
Yeah, and that can, of course, cause a problem. And then when you talk about kidney, one thing people talk about is the need to drink water. And is that something that the ministry is promoting as well? I mean, people are supposed to know this, but for some reason we don't follow it.
Yes. So we're definitely promoting a healthy lifestyle at the Northwest Regional Health Authority. I want to take this opportunity to invite the public to come out and get some basic health screening at the marketplace. This Sunday we're going to be in the Port of Spain Central Market, which is on the Beetham Highway. And so every month we go and visit every single marketplace. So in the 2nd Saturday of the month, we're in Digger Martin. So last week we were in Digger Martin at Wasta Grounds compound. This Sunday we're going to be at the Central Market, Port of Spain, from 7 to 11 a.m. You can get your blood glucose checked, your blood cholesterol checked, your blood pressure. You can get your weight. Also, we have some cancer screenings. We have pap smears. We have PSA blood tests for men. So it's very critical that you come out and know your numbers. So you're going to get your healthy lifestyle passport, and I brought this the last time. So you come and you get a track of your numbers, and you can record the numbers that are really critical for your health. And I really want to encourage everyone to come out to one of our marketplace events. And we're going to have this calendar in the newspaper, but if you don't get it in the newspaper, you can get it on our website, you can get it on our Facebook page. Along with our basic screening, we also have some physical exercise, and Dr. Elcock, is going to highlight. But we have now for March and April, we're going to have Zumba on Fridays on the green of Port of Spain General Hospital from 3:30 to 4:30, and every Wednesday for March and April we have yoga on Wednesday. So today, if you want to come and join us from 3:45 to 4:45 at Port of Spain General Hospital in the antenatal clinic, we have yoga sessions.
3:45 to 4:45?
3:45 to 4:45, open to the public, and I take this time to invite you and your team to come and join us either this afternoon or Friday for Zumba. And then the marketplace, come out and know your numbers. These numbers are critical to your health, and everyone should really have this healthy lifestyle passport.
Yeah. And you know, we talk about physical activity. How important is it? Because Carnival is over now, and I just want to go back to Carnival. Before Carnival, people would go to the gym, they would work out, they want to look good. But right after Carnival, you know, people go back to their bad eating habits and their unhealthy lifestyles.
So part of the promotion that we are doing an education program for all staff, all categories of staff of the Port of Spain General Hospital and the St. James Medical Complex during the last 2 weeks of March. These talks are going to take the form of, it's only also for members of the public. So we are targeting visitors and relatives of patients who are visiting these institutions. We are going to be putting flyers out with the dates and times, and anybody is welcome to come. But basically, we are pushing the healthy lifestyle that we should be all engaging in. So we're looking at things like hydration, very important in keeping the kidneys healthy, and we should be drinking about 35 mils per kilogram body weight of water per day. Yeah. So in addition, we should be exercise. We should be exercising regularly, at least 3 times a week. Half an hour is good enough, but it must be consistent. In addition, we are encouraging people to watch know those basic numbers that Ms. Bash has mentioned, but we also need to be doing things like watching what drugs we take, right? So we know that certain herbs, we know that even overdoses of the vitamins we take, like vitamin C, can predispose you to kidney stones, which can affect your kidneys. And we are pushing for people to recognize, are you at risk, right? And these are the risk factors. Are you at risk? And if you have risk, these are what you need to do in terms of looking after your health. For people who are absolutely healthy and don't have any risk factors, there's a certain small percentage of people who develop kidney disease without a known cause. And therefore, we're encouraging everybody. We're encouraging the men in particular. Men tend to not like to go to the doctor. I'm good, I'm fine until I'm dying. Therefore, we are encouraging all men to come out, there's something called a digital rectal examination. We're encouraging all the men over 40, please do it, because prostate glands enlarge. Prostate gland enlargement can cause obstruction to your outflow, and anything that blocks the outflow of urine from your kidneys, be it stones, be it enlarged prostate, can contribute to kidney disease.
And so we all need to pay attention to our lifestyles. And remember, on Sunday the Port of Spain Central Market, that's in Bethlehem, people can come and get checked out if they want. What time?
From 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it's a great opportunity. And if you miss this one, next week we'll be in the Salma Promenade at the same time, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Sundays.
So something to definitely check out. And I myself encourage you to go and check out these forums to ensure that you are in good health. Dr. Bridget Elcock-Streaker, I would like to thank you, and Magda Baksh, I would like to thank you very much for coming on this morning and chatting with us, because your health is important. Okay, so we take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots operated by Strategic Partner Swim Call. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
We beg them not to stop the carnival. You could believe me, this is Creole Bacchanal. We beg them don't stop the carnival. Make me gal, but don't stop me carnival. We beg them don't stop the carnival. I want them to know that we love we calypso. We beg them don't stop the carnival. Make us study, but don't stop me liberty. We beg them don't stop the carnival. We come to parade by plane we masquerade. We beg them don't stop the carnival.
Whether you are on the road or at the beach, preserve our beautiful nation of which we are proud by properly disposing of your waste. Because environmental pride is national pride.
cares?
Who cares?
Who really cares?
Who cares? I care, because I know that early diagnosis increases the chances for successful treatment of breast, cervical, and colorectal cancers. You can do something about that. Get screened for early detection. It's the key to survival. I care because cancer doesn't.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show here on TTT, Talk City 91.1 FM, and on Facebook, TTT Live Online. Carrie, interesting conversation this morning to start. I know you were very curious about it.
Yes, I was very curious about it. I was actually very curious about the transplant and donor topic they were speaking about, and I was just asking them some questions off camera about donating organs. If I wanted to be an organ donor, like at the end of my life, or the case may be.
Yeah.
And yeah, they said you could actually go to the ICU unit of the National Organ Transplant unit at the Eric Williams
Medical Complex.
And you can sign up. And
so you considering something like that?
Yeah, I've always considered being an organ donor. Like anything that works at the end of my life, that I wouldn't have any use for it.
Exactly.
So why not help somebody else or help to prolong their lives? I was actually going to ask the question whether you have a say of who the organs go to or whatever the case may be. But of course, that could be answered when I go over there to get more information.
Yeah, and of course, we definitely have to get them back to have a conversation like that, because it's an interesting conversation, and there are other people like you, they have questions and they are willing to donate some stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, it is time for news now on TTT. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley does not have to undergo surgery. He posted a picture to his Facebook page late on Tuesday saying, "All smiles at lunch with my cardiologist. Today I was told there is no need for surgery." However, Dr. Rowley said he will remain under observation for a few more days and return home soon. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who prayed and sent well wishes to me and my family. Pedophiles should be chemically castrated, the view of Independent Senator Dr. Varma Diyal Singh. As a special select committee convened to discuss the Sexual Offences Act Amendment Bill on Tuesday, he said certain individuals can be given an injection which cuts their sex drive. He said it is something that can be considered as the nation's prisons are currently overcrowded and the method can reduce the recidivism rate down from 60% to 5%. That was news now on TTT. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit now about national workplace policy on sexual harassment. I have two guests with me this morning, Sabina Gomez, who is the Chief Labour Relations Officer, and Sangeeta Bundu, who is the Senior Legal Officer. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, I know the National Workplace Policy on Sexual Harassment 2019 was laid in Parliament on Friday.
Yes. International Women's Day.
On International Women's Day, which is important and is significant.
Yes, it is.
Why is it significant?
Because we get to celebrate and recognize the contribution of women and at all fora, and this is something we don't do enough of.
Yeah, and the Minister of Labour, Jennifer Baptiste-Primus, she said that for far too long victims in the workplace have suffered in silence, and this is something that we want to tackle at this point in time. Before we get into that, what does the sexual harassment policy mean? What does it entail for us?
Ms. Gomez.
Well, I think what it gives a level of comfort to the citizenry in Trinidad and Tobago, the working population, and it puts something in place which, as it was laid in Parliament now, and we expect the policy to be disseminated to all organizations, where there would be a guidelines and framework where if it occurs in the workplace, it will be addressed. The policy is really a preventative measure. We don't want it to appear like it's a big stick approach. We come in and we don't want it to appear that it's against men, because it can happen to anyone. So once that policy is in place in the organization, it gives it sorts of lays the groundwork, or gives a definition of what is sexual harassment. And in each organization, we recognize that they will have different cultures in the organization. And, we don't expect a one-size-fits-all. So we expect that organizations will draft a policy to suit the culture, the size, what their organization is about, so that it will fit, in terms of having a platform where workers will feel free to come forward if something is happening and not suffer in silence.
Yeah. And it's important for people to know what sexual harassment is. So how do we define sexual harassment?
Well, within the policy, we have defined sexual harassment to include verbal, non-verbal, it can be physical or non-physical. So sexual harassment can happen not just by touching someone, it can happen via WhatsApp message, which is very important for us to understand in a culture where we use a lot of WhatsApp messages, we use a lot of messenger services. So you can send someone a picture, an inappropriate picture. Sexual harassment also has to be unwelcome and unreasonable in the circumstances and unwanted.
Exactly.
Because what is interesting for people to know is that 13% of women experience sexual harassment at work in a public place as well, which is a high number.
Exactly.
And because this policy was laid in Parliament on International Women's Day, it has some sort of significance given that statistic.
Yes, because it's predominantly, let's face it, we will have issues, and we have had issues where men were sexually harassed. We have had it. But the majority of the cases are women. And a lot of it is underreported.
Why do you think that is so?
Well, a young girl came into us, she was in her 20s, early 20s, and her peers told her, persons around her age group, just keep quiet about it. You will retaliation, it's best to keep quiet. And it's an older person, who brought her in and said, look, you have to go and say something. But so we're looking at the age group in terms of how young people who enter in the world of work, this happens to them, what do they do? Because the CSO report, the majority of women in the workplace falls between the ages of 30 to 39. And if it happens to you, how do they have the courage to speak up? Because sometimes you realize that we are not socially, it may not be socially acceptable. People may be afraid, especially now in the job market where it's hard to get a job. So if something happens, you suffer in silence, or sometimes what occurs is if they do go and report it, someone was told, rule number 1, your supervisor is always right. That check rule number 2, that actually, somebody reported that it actually was told to them. They called a staff meeting, and that was the way that it was dealt with. So you have a lot of people who suffer in silence. They can't get redress.
Yeah, and according to the minister, some 84% of sexual harassment experiences are unreported. Now, that is a very high number. Now, this policy is geared towards addressing things like that, but this is just a piece of paper. Unless people report it. So, it's supposed to give people comfort, but how much comfort really?
Well, we are at the beginning of the conversation. I hesitated with beginning because at the ministry we started work on this policy a while back, with the first consultation starting in May last year. So we've started the conversation amongst our stakeholders. What we're doing now with the policy, we've lifted it out of just our stakeholders into the national conversation. So this is why this is important. We need to have the conversation where we say, this is not right. Certain types of behavior are unacceptable, and we don't know enough of the redress that we do currently have. So yes, we need legislation, but there is redress that you can currently access. So that's why this conversation is so important. It's not only going to give comfort, but it's going to empower both men and women, whoever faces sexual harassment in the workplace.
And you talk about this is not the beginning because, there's a tripartite consultative process that went into this.
Well, this one was multi-parted, or we like to call it tripartite plus.
Yeah.
And that is not only the normal stakeholders where you have the employers, the trade unions, we have NGOs, we invited a lot of groups to the consultation, even private citizens at the last stage when we were drafting the document. They call and say, can I come in and give my point of view? And we accepted, all suggestions, all recommendations. We examined everything to make sure that this is something that the citizens, they were clamoring for it. And now it's here and we're ready to roll it out. And something else I wanted to raise, we talk about sexual harassment in the workplace, but we also recognize that persons could make false accusations against someone.
That is where I wanted to go with this.
And, it could happen, and sometimes, it will happen because that is human nature, right? And we recognize that, and that is why coming forward in the legislation, that is going to take care of that, because it has to be a deterrent that to prevent someone from doing, making a false claim, because that could ruin your reputation. Yeah. It could damage your family life, and even the organization, bring the organization into ill repute. So we understand that and we recognize that, and we seek to address that with legislation.
Yeah. And hopefully that is something that will be there and, really deter people, because it's important that you don't make a false accusation.
Exactly.
It will be there.
All right, you see?
Will be
and just to let people know that sexual harassment does not necessarily mean a male on a female. It can be male to female, female to male, or even female to female.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we have had cases like that. And we also want to make mention that the policy even includes, in looking at the scope of the policy in terms of who does it address. We try to capture all employers, even within government, state sectors, the private sector, and even with household assistants, right? Because we recognize and migrant workers as well.
Yeah.
Because even if you work in the workplace, you are working in Trinidad and Tobago, you have rights and you're entitled to rights.
And with the influx of Venezuelans and what the Minister of National
Exactly.
Security
And
has
we're
been
hoping
talking
to
about,
have the policy placed in Spanish.
As well. So that is something that
and
we
we
look at.
do have an implementation plan which includes communication strategies and the legislation.
Yeah.
All right, and well, hopefully we can continue this conversation, which is a very important conversation. Thank you very much, Sabina Gomez, Chief Labor Relations Officer, and Sangeeta Bundu, Senior Legal Officer, Ministry of Labor and Small and Migrant.
If you'll indulge us, we just want to give some contact information, right?
Yes.
So you can find the Ministry's policy on the Ministry's website, molsed.gov.tt, under Resources, and Sabina will give.
Right, and if you want to contact us, you can call 299-0300, extension 2043 or extension 2124, and you can email us and make sure and put a contact number when you email us so we can call you at conciliation.mol@gov.tt.
All right, thank you so very much, ladies, for coming on and speaking with us. We take a break and come back with more.
All right.
News happens anytime, anywhere. And when it happens, we are there. We report the news in real time. TTT News. Connect.
Frontline on Talk City 91.1 FM, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon with me, Ria Roop Chansing, an informative and educational show that discusses a variety of topics, from social issues to the law, from education to religion, culture, health, beauty, and your well-being. And you also have a chance to voice your opinion in Frontline's open forum. Frontline, 8 a.m. to noon every Monday to Friday with me, Ria Roop Chansing, on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who really cares?
Who cares? I care because I know that 30% of cancer is preventable, mainly by not using tobacco, having a healthy diet, being physically active, and moderating the use of alcohol. Prevention is better than cure, and you can do something about that. Get screened for early detection. It's the key to survival. I care because cancer doesn't.
Who says informative can't be fun? Smile now every morning with Lisa, Rishi, and Carrie as they keep you in the know with what's trending on social media and bring you updates from the worlds of current affairs, sport, technology, and much more. Start your day right and be in the know with what's happening now. Now, shaping tomorrow today. Mondays to Fridays at 6 a.m. on TTT, Talk City 91.1 FM, and streaming live on Facebook at TTT Live Online.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show here on TTT. Remember, we're also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live Online, and TTT.live on the World Wide Web. Now we take a look at our local weather report from Ian Wallace.
We've seen recent rain clouds across Trinidad and Tobago. That's welcome news for those farming and gardening. We could also be seeing some more moisture coming across both Trinidad and Tobago today as well. So as you go through your morning and into the afternoon, look out for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattering of showers across the main ridge in Tobago and filtering down towards the lowlands as well and into Buku. So some down spots expected at least for the rest of your Wednesday. Across Trinidad on the eastern areas, also quite cloudy and a damp start around Valencia into Arima, out towards Beach as well. Mostly the eastern areas will likely be wetter than the western areas as you go through your day, but still a few showers are likely around Diego Martin, Port of Spain, down towards San Fernando, Point Fortin as well, with most of the showers around Guaraguari and then up towards Rio Claro and some passing through into Pinal. So what this means temperature-wise, it will feel quite comfortable. 30 degrees Celsius likely in Tobago, maybe 31 in Trinidad. Once we get past our Thursday, we'll be seeing a lot more sunshine to come. Ridge of high pressure stays in charge for both Trinidad and Tobago into the weekend. Heading offshore, we just have those moderate easterly winds of 15 knots, maybe pushing to 20 knots by late on Thursday going into Friday, but with moderate choppy seas, 1.5 meters in the Caribbean, pushing close to 2 meters offshore in the Atlantic, and still short east-northeasterly swells of 6 to 8 seconds. And you have your high tide at 8 a.m. and your low tide at 3 p.m. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.
And we're back here. Thank you, Ian Wallace, for that local weather update. All right, and now we have a big team on set here this morning, and I am here with representatives from the Youth Ambassadors of Trinidad and Tobago. With me is adult mentor Farisha Mohammed, and then I have a list of youth ambassadors, which include Christian Kellawan, who's a youth ambassador, Anik Gray, Dana Prasad, Thea Lopez, and Shalissa Ali. Good morning, everybody, and welcome.
Good morning.
Now, what is the main thing that the Youth Ambassadors of Trinidad and Tobago are working on right now? Anik.
Okay, we are working on a project. We went to a program that was hosted by the U.S. Embassy,
right,
and it was sponsored by the U.S. Department of State. We came back, once we go to the program, we had to come back and perform a project that is supposed to have an impact on our country. Right now, we are choosing to do a project surrounding the theme of the cycle of child abuse. And we are choosing to do a rally in Trinidad that will be going from Port of San Fernando.
All right, if you could just hold the mic a little bit closer, please.
Okay, from San Fernando, going all the way up to Port of Spain. And I'll give Christian to give more information on it.
All right, Christian, so why did the group choose that project in particular?
So while we had our stay in Washington, D.C., the group, we have a diverse group of students here. We vouch for specific things. Our adult mentor, for instance, she is a social worker. And, on doing research, we saw that statistics of child abuse in Trinidad and Tobago is quite high. Past Children's Authority Director, Ms. Ali, she indicated that in 2016, there was a 100% increase in child abuse statistics. So that was one of the reasons that we decided to,
100%
increase. Yeah. Where back in 2016 there was 5,500 cases of reported.
Right.
And in 2017, there was 6,000 more. So that was at least 12,000 reports.
2,000 more that year. So that is astounding numbers. You know, and something we definitely need to get on. We're still only speaking about the reported incidents.
Yep. So consider the unreported incidents
right.
as well. So you know, on concluding that, we decided to portray a project that would somehow socially transform Trinidad and Tobago, but not only in the aspect of child abuse, but from the mindsets of our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, and Felicia, how has your experience in social work affected and positively added to this movement?
To be honest, with regard to social work and the job site that I have currently, it entails working with persons who are victims of child abuse. And with regard to that, what we really wanted to do when the group got together while we were in Washington, D.C., we indicated that we wanted to not only change and bring awareness to, but we wanted to try to change mindsets. Because as an adult and being influential to the younger ones, we thought that, you know, it would have been integral to change the mindsets of the future generations with regard to the way they think, the thinking patterns, with regard to what can we do to eradicate such a taboo topic in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Because of the fact that child abuse, it's something that it's underreported, very much so in Trinidad, because of the fact that persons are fear of stigmatization.
Right.
They're fearful of what may happen. Sometimes the abuser is a relative.
Yeah, they say in most cases the abuser is someone that is familiar to the child.
And that person may be the financial breadwinner.
Right.
And in turn, the relatives of the household, they are afraid to make a report because who will be there to support us? Who will be there? So we thought about, sensitizing the nation concerning the issue of child abuse and having them know that this is a real issue, it's an epidemic. Yes. And by targeting child abuse, we also target all different forms of abuse, because a lot of studies have shown that when a child is abused, there's a greater likelihood that that child becomes an abuser.
Right.
So when he or she goes into his own family, he may become a sexual predator as well. He may become a physical abuser, financially, emotionally, as the case may
they
vary.
would have been emotionally scarred from their traumatic experience in their past. And then become a perpetrator of such acts as well.
Yeah.
So how are you going about changing the mindset? Aside from raising the awareness, as you said, I'd actually like Dana to answer, from your experience, how is the team going about changing the mindset in regards to this?
Okay, so basically, as youth ambassadors, what we try to do is advocate for civic engagement. And this is whereby we go out into our communities, because we believe that the change we want to see must first start with us. And so therefore, we have started going in our schools, and on our T-shirts, there's a blue ribbon which signifies against child abuse. And in making this rally effective, it comes with a cost. And one of the things that we're trying to do is promote these ribbons and sell in order for our rally to be a success. So whoever is interested, we would love for you all to be involved and get on board with us.
Chilisali, tell us.
Pia.
Sorry, Pia, my bad. Tell us how do we get involved?
Okay, well, at the end of our procession from San Fernando to Port of Spain, we're going to have different booths set up. It's on April 13th. We're going to have different booths set up from different associations regarding child abuse. So we're going to have the National Child Services Authority, this division, and we're going to have Rape Crisis Association, we're going to have Children's Authority. So people can come out and go visit different booths so they can become more aware, become educated, and hear the stories of other people who've been victims of child abuse.
Would there be something provided there, maybe at one of your rallies, for people to, anonymously, maybe if they themselves know of child abuse happening actively, or they themselves are victims of child abuse, would there be something available that they could probably go into an unmarked tent or something to actually make a report of such acts?
So there will be persons who are attached to the National Family Services Division as well as the Children's Authority. Well, we have sent out requests to them to be there. So as long as they are there, those reports could go directly to the workers who would be attached to the booths, because they are in charge of taking complaints, what we call them, and taking it back to their division where they will address it at a later date.
All right, team. Farisha Mohammed, adult mentor for the Youth Ambassadors of Trinidad and Tobago, including Christian Kelawan, Anik Gray, Dana Prasad, switch over here again, Pia Lopez, and Shalissa Ali. Thank you for all you've shared this morning. I do wish you the best in your initiatives and that rally that's coming up and the awareness you're raising. And, we support you here on the Now team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. As she spoke on the topic, #Balance for Better, Mrs. Rowley said each year the International Women's Day theme carries the same message, gender equality. In her
As she spoke on the topic #Balance for Better, Mrs. Rowley said each year the International Women's Day theme carries the same message, gender equality.
We clearly realized that we weren't making the progress that we should have been making. The theme was Press for Progress. This year we are back to equality, balance for better.
In her view, an empowered woman is someone who knows her strengths and isn't afraid to embrace them. Mrs. Rowley stressed on the importance of a good education to the school children in the audience.
Develop the expertise so that you can be the best qualified person in the field that you have chosen. Work and make your own money so that you have financial independence. I'm an attorney. I make my own money. I have my own bank account. And I certainly don't have to ask the Prime Minister for money.
She said the future of Trinidad and Tobago is in the hands of young people.
You are the ones who will carry the mantle for equality. You will carry that mantle for gender equality.
Mrs. Rowley said empowered women empower other women, and it's something that AFET strives to do. On Tuesday, the association honored 5 women at their annual Women of Influence Awards and Mentorship function. They also hosted more than 70 students from 9 schools from across Trinidad. The 5 women who were recognized were awarded for their outstanding contributions in the areas of business pioneer, national spirit, social entrepreneur, young female leader, and spirit of AFET. The association also used the opportunity to expand on their International Women's Day celebrations. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
All right, thank you, Mahalia Joseph Wharton, for that report. You know, a lot happening in Trinidad and Tobago and a lot of women doing a lot of great things. But now let's get into another group of people doing great things, and that's our leaders of now, where our young people are being showcased for the great things that they do. And this morning with me is Giselle Cox and Jonathan MacArthur, wife, and we are going to speak about the Freely Give Foundation. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
All right, thank you for being here this morning. So, firstly, what is the Freely Give Foundation?
So, Freely Give Foundation is a registered NGO that assists families who are in need.
So, what kind of need are we talking about, Giselle?
So, we're talking about psychosocial needs and also needs that affect the better living of, the needs that affect the family to prevent any type of abuse and violence.
That's very interesting. Jonathan, tell me, how do you go about providing for needs to prevent violence and abuse?
All right, so what we really target is, we are central base NGO. So we target the Londonville community and environs. And the programs we do are more social intervention, psychosocial. We have specialized volunteers, social workers, psychologists, etc. And these persons really target families that are vulnerable, right? Most are children. We have programs like lectures in bullying. We have social intervention where we have the specialized person, social worker, etc.
Right.
They may come and interview the family, the child, as to what may cause that issue at the home, and extension the community of Londonville. So it's all about social intervention and crime reduction. Changing that social mind.
Now, there's a word you both use once. You said the psychosocial needs of the families. Could you break down what are the psychosocial needs?
Well, when we say psychosocial needs, we're talking about the needs that, how to say about it, this psychological need, or the love or the care that a lot of young people need within that Londonville community. And I'm stressing on Londonville because we're not trying to expand, even though we're in existence since 2013. So that psychosocial need, or that social need, for example, you will have some children given problems in school, right, have one or two little issues, but when you interview them, you realize that they are in need of an adult figure to give them that support.
Right, so it's not about they probably have problems that stem from home.
From home, correct. Right. So it's not necessarily financial, but you need that psychological attention, right? And that there's where we come in. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to really reach out to all the families within the Londonville community. However, it's a small group, and we are trying day by day.
And you said that you started in 2013. Giselle, tell me, what has the journey been like until 2019 so far?
So it has been, really challenging, but, we always give honor to God, because we see from 2013 to now we have moved from strength to strength, in that we would have hosted activities in Longdonville, Gasparillo, Vance River, Greenvale Park, Marabella, and we even adopted a school in St. Vincent in 2013 after the flood. In 2018, however, we established a family intervention center where the programs that Jonathan would have mentioned, there's where we offer those programs. Jonathan and I are both police officers working community policing, and we saw the need for intervention because we always believe that early intervention is important to prevent secondary adversities, which basically mean it's going to prevent a child who's been abused from being the abuser in the future. So this is one of our greatest accomplishments so far. We also had the privilege, the golden opportunity to meet with Her Excellency this year to introduce her to our organization and make linkages. Additionally, the 24th of February, we celebrated 1 year of the Family Intervention Center, and we're looking forward, to continue serving the community of Longdonville.
All right, well, we're going to have to leave it right there for now because we're at the top of the hour for the news, but I want to thank you very much for what you shared. But we will continue this interview off camera, and we will give the update right after the news.
Okay, great.
All right, we take a short break for the news at the top of the hour, and we come right back.
Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots, operated by Strategic Partner Swim Call. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Sandra Maraj, and this is News Now on TTT. The Civil Aviation Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is monitoring the investigation into the accident involving the Ethiopian airliner Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet and will not base any of its actions on speculation. Since the crash in Addis Ababa on Sunday, the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet has come under scrutiny, with several international airlines in Asia and Europe grounding their jets for inspection. Minister of Works and Transport Rohan Sinanan responded to a question in the Senate on Tuesday about the course of action by the Civil Aviation Authority following the crash.
And Tobago Civil Aviation Authority notes from the media report that the accident is being investigated by the relevant authorities. Consequently, the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority cannot be engaged in speculation about the cause of the accident.
Airlines continuing to operate their Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets include American Airlines, Air Canada and Southwest Airlines, to name a few. Minister Sinanan confirmed that a few international airlines which use the Boeing 737 MAX 8 operate out of Piarco International Airport.
President, the answer to that is yes. We do have American Airlines, and I think is United operates these 737 in our airspace.
And Finance Minister Colm Imbert says there's no need to panic about Caribbean Airlines' fleet of aircraft. This as he condemned a newspaper report on the matter, accusing it of distorting the facts. In a statement Tuesday, Minister Imbert said there was unnecessary panic being created around CAL's plans to purchase a fleet of Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft. Mr. Imbert said the true facts are that CAL is not currently flying Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft, adding the airline's current fleet is comprised of Boeing 737-800s, which he described as being among the safest airplanes in the world. The Environmental Management Authority has been investigating reports of an oil spill in the vicinity of the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain Tuesday. The MA said it's been working along with its partner agencies, including the Ministry of Energy and Energy Affairs, Institute of Marine Affairs, the Coast Guard, Maritime Services Division, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management and OSH to determine the source of the spill. The MA said its Emergency Response and Investigations Unit immediately activated its protocol procedures and had been conducting shoreline assessments for any impact and would continue to monitor the situation. Attorney Sharon Rowley says there are still too many women who have no idea what equality means despite the strides the country has made toward gender equality. Mrs. Rowley, who's also the wife of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, says women must be able to live lives filled with opportunity, free from discrimination and free from physical and mental abuse. She was speaking on the theme #Balance for Better at the Association of Female Executives of Trinidad and Tobago's annual Women of Influence Awards and Mentorship function at the Hyatt Regency Tuesday.
We clearly realized that we weren't making the progress that we should have been making. The theme was Press for Progress. This year we are back to equality, balance for better.
In her view, an empowered woman is someone who knows her strengths and isn't afraid to embrace them. Mrs. Rowley stressed the importance of a good education to the school children in the audience.
Develop the expertise so that you can be the best qualified person in the field that you have chosen. Work and make your own money so that you have financial independence. I'm an attorney. I make my own money. I have my own bank account. And I certainly don't have to ask the Prime Minister for money.
In news of sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association isn't confirming nor denying reports of possible failed drugs tests by certain members of the national football team currently in training under head coach Dennis Lawrence. The team has been hard at work preparing for a crucial upcoming friendly with Wales in Cardiff on March 20th, and as part of this country's anti-doping program, all members of the team underwent drugs tests on March 7th and 8th. The results of those tests have not been made public by the TTFA, who stated that the players have been spoken to and their clubs have been written to. The team is set to depart for Wales on Sunday, with the final squad to be named by Friday. The TTFA added that FIFA and CONCACAF's regulations require compliance with anti-doping from all football associations internationally and will continue its medical testing leading into upcoming international competitions such as the CONCACAF Gold Cup, CONCACAF Nations League and 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign. And that brings us to the end of News Now on TTT. I'm Sandra Maraj. Have a good morning.
The Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots, operated by Strategic Partner Swim Call. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
Stock Exchange produced a volume of 47,873 shares with a traded value of $942,814.11. Sagicor Financial Corporation Limited was the volume leader with 12,878 stock units changing hands. Investors bought and sold the stocks of 11 companies, with 4 increasing, 2 declining, and 5 ending the day unchanged. The composite, the cross-listed, and the all TNT indices advanced.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second hour of the Now Morning Show. We are live on TTT on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Exciting morning. Director, just say let's rock this hour.
Yeah, you know, that just gave me a little spark, you know, a little jump start there.
Yeah, and well, you know, I'm probably not supposed to say this yet, but I'm so excited for one of my friends.
Right.
His wife is in labor and she's going to be giving birth soon.
That is amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
And that had me smiling all night last night when he called me and said that, you know, she's going in. And then this morning I just came off the phone with him again.
Right.
Well, I'm still waiting and I really want to go down, so I'm excited to go down and see how things progress.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Definitely some exciting news there.
I mean, babies are like the most adorable things.
And the miracle of birth, you know, and the strength of a woman to actually give birth to a child is always something that's very fascinating. I mean, I'm not a father.
Not yet.
Not in the future, not right now, but when that time comes,
don't wait until you get too old,
be,
because you don't want to be 50 and the child is now starting preschool.
Yeah, and then the thing is their grandfather picking them up, right?
Gary, I love this, yes. But on a serious note, though, the European Union and India have banned the Boeing 737 MAX from flying over their airspace to ensure passenger safety. Remember, this is following the Ethiopian crash, which killed 157 people. So a lot of countries are saying that they are banning the 737 MAX from flying over their airspace.
You know what? I don't blame them for playing it safe, because this is truly a tragedy that occurred there with the Ethiopian flight. So many people lost their lives, you know, and then there are a number of family members and friends and loved ones who are affected by this as well. So them playing it safe and banning flights of these aircrafts over their airspaces, definitely, I'd say a positive move. But let's see how it goes to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well,
as well.
how it goes to Trinidad and Tobago is that the first Boeing 737 MAX airplane is scheduled for delivery in Trinidad and Tobago by December 2019, and that is according to the Minister of Finance, Colm Imbert. However, he's asking the people not to panic, because Caribbean Airlines has ample time to make alternative arrangements if the model is in fact found to be unsafe. The investigation into probably what caused the crash is still ongoing. They're probably looking more into these airplanes. So now until December, you know, Caribbean Airlines will also be looking into it. And if it is unsafe, you know, we expect Caribbean Airlines to cancel that arrangement. But for now, the first 737 MAX airplane is expected to arrive in Trinidad and Tobago in December. All right, and the minister also gave the assurance that CAL is not currently flying Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircrafts. We are only using Boeing 737-800, so that is some sort of comfort for people who are using Caribbean Airlines planes at this point in time.
And then speaking about comfort, the Prime Minister is said not to need surgery. He is all smiles there, and he posted on his Facebook page that he's very thankful. He gives heartfelt thanks for all those who send their support, send their best wishes, and wish him the best of health.
Yeah, and hopefully he will continue to monitor the situation and return home soon. So we would also continue to monitor what is happening with the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. Also yesterday, Carrie, there was what appeared to be an oil spill in the back of Hyatt.
Really?
Yeah. So the Environmental Management Authority is saying that there was an oil spill in the vicinity of the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain, and it is working along with its partner agencies, including the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Institute of Marine Affairs and Coast Guard, the Maritime Services Division, and others, to determine the source of the spill. The EMA says that its emergency response team and investigations unit immediately activated its protocol procedures, as has been done before, and has been conducting shoreline assessments for any impact, and will continue to monitor the situation. Now, this happened sometime yesterday morning. I was going out of Port of Spain before 9 o'clock, and people were messaging me and saying, there seems to be a spill there, and it's good that the EMA came out and made a statement early, and that it's investigating.
And it's really heartening to see that the EMA is acting so quickly on that. But the question is, after all this is done, would a full investigation happen, after which they prove what is the source of it, and then the parties responsible for such...
well, that is always the expectation, that whatever the cause is, that if somebody was responsible, that they be held responsible for that. So that is something that, we'll probably hear more from the EMA about later
we'll
on.
keep our eyes on that.
But for now, we need to check in with the traffic situation.
All right, let's take a look at this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
We're in central Trinidad right now at the Monroe Road area there on the Uriah Butler Highway. As we can see in both lanes at this point in time, at least from this view, there seems to be a free flow of traffic in both directions. That's good news for those of you heading northbound or southbound on the Uriah Butler Highway at this point in time. As we look over here on the northbound side, which is usually way more crowded than this for this time of morning, it's unusually clear. So that's good news. If you're heading out at this point in time, leaving your television sets, you can also take us with you in your cars or your vehicles of whatever type on Talk City 91.1 FM, where we could keep you company until 8 a.m. this morning, keep you entertained, informed, and of course updated with everything that is happening now. All right, and that's a wrap for this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
Yeah, if you're taking us in your cars or whatever vehicle you're driving, remember, you can stay with us on Talk City 91.1 FM. But, every day we like to either go over to Sweet 100.1 FM or to Next 99.1 FM. And today we are going over to Next, where Ayinka is said to be having a blast this morning. Good morning, Ayinka.
Good morning to Rishi and, of course, the entire Now Morning crew. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we are great. Carrie is back.
Yes, I see this. Carrie, you feeling better?
Yes, I am feeling better. It seems you are feeling better as well.
I am. I'm chilling in the hot seat this morning, so it warmed me up, I guess.
Ooh.
Of course, my guys are here. It's the Big Bad Brother Station.
Yeah,
you like
that name, right? You like that name, the Big Bad Brother Station?
By the way,
I particularly like that I'm a female on the Big Bad Brother Station. So.
Well, listen, Rishi, remember, Rishi was the one who named Next 99.1 because I thought it was kind of sexist that we only went with sister stations.
Okay.
Right.
And so we have a sister and we have a brother. So we kind of balance it off.
A nice balanced family happening here.
Would you also be taking the credit for starting that little mini war that we have going on right now? The other day I was feeling sick and Rishi is hitting me low with the punches, but another figures are hiding in the corner.
Absolutely not. I will never do that. When my friend or my colleague is ill, I only offer support and look to assist them in any way that I can so that they can recover and be back at work and assisting with everything that they have to do.
Well, I do hope that you don't get this flu because it is very, very, very bad. I'm going to tell you about that. But if you do, you can also walk around the corner and get a couple meds and say, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. Carrie says she's a nice person.
Yeah, like is a very, very nice person.
There was some uncertainty as to whether or not I'm a nice person. Just running back and undecided. All right, I see it. All right, cool.
Well, we want to say a special good morning to all your Next 99.1 listeners there from the Now Morning Show team, and we wish everybody the best for the day. Mainka, what is happening with Next 99 today?
Well, it's Wednesday, so it's going to be good. We are talking, actually, relationships a little bit, because in our throwback segments, just after I'm done with you guys, we're heading down memory lane with some old school R&B. And, back in the day, it was all about love, so it's going to be a good one. Hump Day is going to be great.
Hump Day.
How far back are we going?
I mean, I'll leave that up to my DJ, but you have any special requests, Rishi?
I was born in 90s.
Oh, Lord.
So probably something of the 90s.
That's yesterday. That's not enough back. But we'll see what we can do for you. I might dedicate a song or two to you. So
really?
Listen out. We'll see.
Remember, I'm single and place is kind of cold outside, so not too much to bank of music.
Noted, definitely owns. It's care of you. But you guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of the show.
Of course, and
well.
Same to you and everybody on Next 99.1 FM. DJ Keto, you too.
We do.
And talking about Throwback Carrie, you remember we're passing over to Sweet 100.1 FM in a short while with Mark, because they are having their throwback thing as well.
Oh, they do.
Gary, we talked about this yesterday.
Well, I know we spoke about it yesterday, but I didn't know it was happening today.
Yeah, and we said that we were going, and you were talking about your radio face, and...
Right, well, you were talking about my radio face,
I was not. I will never tell you that. I will never do that. You know, Carrie, listen. People can say what they want about you, but I will never allow them to say anything bad about you.
Because that is reserved for you only.
Exactly.
You can say bad things, right?
I've never said anything bad about you behind your back. All right, we take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Take a loan right now for your car, house, for a vacation, for your own land, or for education. First Citizens Easy Does It.
A First Citizens Easy Does It loan makes it easy for you to do it all. A new vehicle, your own home, a vacation, education. Visit firstcitizensdt.com to find out more. Apply today.
Take a loan right now. First Citizens Easy Does It. First Citizens Easy Does It.
First Citizens, we put you first.
Frontline on Talk City 91.1 FM, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon with me, Ria Roop Chansing, an informative and educational show that discusses a variety of topics, from social issues to the law, from education to religion, culture, health, beauty, and your well-being. And you also have a chance to voice your opinion in Frontline's open forum. Frontline, 8 a.m. to noon every Monday to Friday with me, Ria Roop Chansing, on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Whether you are on the road or at the beach, preserve our beautiful nation of which we are proud by properly disposing of your waste. Because environmental pride is national pride.
At TTT News, our journalists are on the ground seeking the facts and reporting on people, events, and the issues that affect your life. Our job is to deliver the most up-to-date news reports. We have Trinidad and Tobago covered. TTT News reaches further on any smart device. TTT News. Connect.
Welcome back, everybody. You are watching the Now Morning Show here on TTT. Also on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and of course, Talk City 91.1 FM. Now, it is Wednesday, and we are going to talk about drama, although it's not Drama Wednesday. But with me are two representatives from the San Juan North Secondary School, and with me is Anton Brewster, who's a teacher, and Danielle Kisto Davis, who's a student. And we are going to talk about the Caribbean Drama Festival fundraiser. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, first of all, what is the drama fundraiser about, and what is the drama festival?
Okay. The fundraiser is an encore production of two of the productions that San Juan North Secondary has done for the last year. In May of 2018, we did a production called The Ritual by Zeno Constance. The Form 6s would have done that production. And also for the Secondary School Trinidad and Tobago Festival, we did a production called The Curious Cat,
which we are now staging again in order to raise funds towards our trip to St. Lucia to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean Drama Festival. So all different secondary schools from around the Caribbean are going to come together for the festival, and we hope to emerge the victor of the competition, because we did represent Trinidad and Tobago before in 2015, but the competition was held right in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right in Trinidad and Tobago. And what was the outcome of that one in 2015?
Jamaica got one award, more than us.
More.
Yeah, we got 8 awards in the festival. They got 9, so I guess that would mean that they left as the victors of that competition.
Well, you know what? 8 awards is not something slight, you know.
No,
I'm sure all the work that went into it.
Yeah.
And you know, and you were awarded 8 awards.
Yeah.
You know,
the students then did excellently. They got numerous awards for acting. We got awards for set, for makeup, for costume, for music, a lot of things. So that we did emerge victors, yes. But you know, Jamaica is a very cultural society, just as ours. So it's always a competition between Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, just like sport.
Right.
So yeah. So this year's competition, we are going to St. Lucia, and we are hoping to take at least 35 students and teachers along as the contingent to represent.
All right, so you said you're raising funds and you're going to put on an encore presentation.
Yeah.
What can we expect on the day of?
On the day of the show, now it's 2 productions for the cost of one. So you're paying $100.
$100, that's very affordable.
That's cheap. That's real cheap. So you're paying $200 to see 2 productions. Our cast is made up of students of Form 4 theatre arts students, Form 5 and Form 6 performing arts students.
How many cast members are you talking about in total?
The cast is just about, because we're doing 2 plays, the cast is about 15 people in total, and then we have the crew, who are the Form 4 students who will assist in terms of set and makeup and costume and all these things.
Right.
So we've used both Form 4, the 3 classes of Form 4, Form 5 and Form 6 to split across the area, so that we are covering all the areas of not just acting but everything that handles with technical theatre as well. The classes are large, so it's a grand number. So we should have a very effective production.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's being held at the school.
It's being held at the Little Carib Theatre in Woodbrook. Yeah.
Awesome. And what day is that going to be held?
The production will be held from the 29th. On the 29th, we have a school show at 10 a.m. Ministry approved as well. So the Ministry of Education has already given the authority for schools to come to production.
Backing of the ministry.
Definitely.
Right, that is great.
The 30th, we have a show at 7, and then on the 31st, which is the 30th is a holiday. Yeah.
Okay.
So that we expect to get a really large audience. And then on the 31st, we have another show that will start at 6 p.m. because it's a Sunday, so it will start just a bit later at the Little Carib Theatre.
All right, I have my friend here a little bit quiet in the corner. Are you going to be a part of the production?
Yes.
Are you an actor?
Yes.
What's your character like?
My character, the name of my character is John Scrooge. He is in The Curious Cat, right, in that play. He is a very curious and hardened and exciting person when it comes to the Obia culture.
The Obia culture, that's very interesting. Expand on this character a little bit more. I'm enthralled already.
So ever since he was a little boy, you know, his family's been telling him about, you know, all the different folklore characters like Sukuya and the Larger Bless and stuff like that. So he's been interested ever since then. And as he's gotten older, you know, reading books and doing research, like he's gotten hooked to it. So he's going out there and asking people about what they think about Obia, what they do. He's going to all the different rituals and just finding out so much more information. But people has been trying to warn him that he should be careful.
Right, you know, there are some possibly malevolent forces involved with Obia, as they say.
Yes, and as the play goes on, you see how his curiosity in it starts to affect him.
So you know that old adage, curiosity killed the cat?
And that's exactly the point of the entire show. That he inquires so much that it leads to his untimely death.
Right.
Yeah. So he actually speaks almost from the afterlife. So that at the beginning of the production, but I don't want to start out the entire show.
I don't want to get it because more people come to the play. To just get like the overview here.
So curiosity killed the cat. I could just leave it at that. And well, the ritual deals with 5 schoolgirls written by Zeno Constance many years ago for Secondary School Drama Festival itself. Right. It deals with a group of girls who are in a classroom setting, and in the classroom setting, you know, all kind of conversations happen. So they go through the teenage life of one young lady who people think, she apparently is pregnant, as a teenager, and what happens in terms of her relationship with her parents and at school and the Rasta man. So there's a lot of social issues that we are dealing with.
Definitely on the social issues, and definitely a topic that is touchy for lots of people, but very real life. So it's very interesting to see how that would be portrayed on the stage. So
our aim with the productions is to use a lot of Trinidad and Tobago culture. So there's a lot of music in it, there's a lot of dance in the productions. It is a spectacle because a lot of costumes set and everything. So it's something to behold. It's going to be a really, really nice show, and we're hoping to get as many people to come down and support, to aid in our trip to St. Lucia to represent Trinidad and Tobago.
Definitely want that support as well. But tell me briefly about the importance of drama in the school, being incorporated into the extracurricular schedule.
Well, the thing about it, at Savannah Secondary, we, as teachers, myself and Mr. McKelly and Taylor, who is our next drama and theatre as teacher, we try to use drama not just as an acting tool, but as a teaching tool. So our students have not just excelled in terms of acting or performance, but they've excelled in terms of the academic of the subject as well. We have 3 of the students who placed last year on the regional list for the first time ever in performing arts in Form 6. So one placed 2nd in the Caribbean, one placed 4th, and one placed 5th. It is the first time the school has ever done performing arts theatre at a Form 6 level. It's the first time we've placed on the merit list in general.
Well, congratulations to the school for that.
Thank you. And we've always had 100% passes in CXE as well as A-levels. So that as an extracurricular activity, we teach children life lessons. So as many things we can expose the children to, if it's not even theatre related, we take them to that. As many things that we can do in the classroom to help them in terms of self-esteem or portfolio building, all these things, we work towards that. So
Daniel, tell me how has it affected you personally? Because you're a student of drama.
Yes. When I came to Savannah Secondary, Mr. McKelly and Taylor, who is my teacher in Form 6, he using drama to help me with my academics and my personal self. It's different because you get to see things that you wouldn't see regularly.
Well, so is it more like you act like you like math and you're good at math, so then you become good at math?
Yes. So I don't know. We would do a scene where I really like maths, right? Like a character that likes maths. So, and as a character, I have to feel and understand. I have to understand a person that likes mathematics. So me, in doing my character research and doing that, I, as Daniel, will end up liking maths.
Right.
So that would, help me as a person who not really on the maths, but
because you're playing this character now, it incorporates into who I am. Right. Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That this is definitely an excellent thing that you're doing, and I wish you the very best. And go out there in St. Lucia and make sure Trinidad and Tobago proud. This time you might just beat Jamaica. You might get the awards.
He got the award for the best actor in Trinidad and Tobago.
Really? Well, congratulations.
So that we're hoping with this gentleman we can take the competition home.
Definitely. All right. Well, Anton Brewster is a teacher at the San Juan North Secondary School, and Daniel Kisto Davis, I got it right this time, who's a student of the same for the Caribbean Drama Festival fundraiser. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
It's JJ and Friends Educational Tablet Systems.
Our JTab Junior Suite for children ages 2 to 5 years old, developing the genius in your child. The JTab Suite for children 6 to 8 years old, interactive learning all year round. And our SCA Suite for students in standards 3 to 5, helping them get to the school of their first choice.
For me, I start my children my grandchildren on the right track with JT and Friends. I start them, learn to read, and eradicate poverty. Learn to read and eradicate crime.
I would encourage any parent to buy this product.
You are setting the future for your children.
I see a great improvement in my child.
I'm 100% satisfied with the JJ and Friends Phonics program.
It has changed my life. It has changed the life of my 2 sons.
I encourage you to do the same. Get this kit.
It's JJ and Friends Educational Tablet Systems. Call 800-READ 7323.
The Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots, operated by Strategic Partner Swim Call. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
Stay connected with what's happening in the region and Latin America and view Caribbean Newsline weeknights at 10 p.m. followed by news from the South at 10:30 p.m. on TTT.
Delivering more news more often to more people. Log on to www.ttt.live.
We're back here on the morning show here on TTT, and I'm here with my friend, my good friend Rishi.
Your best friend.
My best friend Rishi.
Let people know the truth, Carrie.
That's true.
You know who I just saw came into the studio?
Who was that?
Lisa Wickham.
Yes, Lisa did come in.
And I was going to tell her to come. And, well, remember we talked about radio face and stuff?
Rishi, why are you going there this morning? You know?
Because, listen, you know, people ask for her. People want to know if she's doing okay because they didn't see her yesterday.
Right.
They're not seeing her this morning. And, you know, sometimes you just need to show the public that you are okay. It doesn't matter how you look sometimes. You know, looks is not everything.
No, looks aren't everything.
Exactly.
It's the person. But when somebody is, when they have a lot to do, they don't have time to come on camera to just make an appearance.
And I'm glad you said that because, you know, it takes people 2 seconds to say hi to somebody.
Right.
And you tell me that you're too busy or you're too sick and you can't take 2 seconds of your day.
All right, let me run away. Let me run away from this conversation and jump across two.
You know where I was going with that. Carrie saw that I was ill, and I'm still tooting on that because he didn't message me.
Rishi, the picture would not be on Instagram if you were not fine. You know, I don't think.
Carrie, nothing you can say will justify your actions.
Hey, what? I'm going to run away from you right now and run across to Tobago because this morning we're going to talk about a passion for fashion. And with me this morning from Tobago is Yank Murray, who's a fashion designer. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning in Tobago?
I'm fine.
Now you're a graduate of UTT for the fashion design school, and now you have a scholarship to the Istituto Europeo de Design in Italy. Tell me how it feels going from this local experience here and what you're going to take with you into your new direction.
Well, I would say to go to Italy is a wonderful opportunity. Firstly, being a graduate of UTT in Trinidad, we learn a lot of different techniques and a lot of different ways in applying fashion to garments and so on. So it's like now getting to go to Italy, I just
you're just over the moon, I could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You could just imagine that you're very excited for that experience. What are your expectations for the program there when you start?
Oh, when I go to Italy, I'm studying fashion styling and communication. So it's more like editorial, commercial, shooting, and styling.
That's very interesting. And I see here that you were a model from since the age of 14. How has that experience, being on the other end of fashion, being the canvas, so to say, influence what you do now?
Oh, being in another industry, people think it's like glitz and glamour, but it's a whole lot of hard work. working with designers, working with different personalities, especially the models. We are influencers in and out, or on the runway and off the runway. For me, I just wanted to be on the other side of modeling. I wanted to be the one to create the garments and just give people a taste of my style of fashion, and influence young Tobagonians and Trinidadians by extension.
You said that you wanted to give people a taste of your style. How would you describe your style?
Well, I'm very minimalistic, and I like elegant, smooth, clean-cut garments.
So, sorry, could you repeat the last thing you said?
I said I like minimalistic, smooth, clean-cut garments.
Yeah, well, as they say, as the saying goes, it's less is more, and we can see that you incorporate. While some things are simplistic, that you have incorporated a level of sophistication as well, and elegance, so to say. So going from the program in UTT, tell me, what has it been like in UTT itself, and what is the main thing, what is the most valuable thing you learned from that program in your studies in Trinidad and Tobago?
Coming from UTT, there were a number of classes that I would say was instrumental in my development. We had apparel construction, learning to construct the garments. We had surface treatment. I wasn't strong in my design labs, and coming down to the end of it, it made me develop a lot. One of my favorite classes was fashion fundamentals and styling classes with Miss Hannah Hitties. That is where the editorial came to life, that I won the scholarship with, actually. We also had studio methods. That is where we would replicate or be inspired by different things in and out of our environment to create garments and apply work from surface treatment to apparel construction, even in design, to create a full collection.
That's very interesting, and I like the way you put it across there, because for somebody like me, I know nothing about fashion, I know nothing about like creating and designing, things like that, but the way you put it across makes it very comprehensive, so I want to thank you for how you put it across there. What is in the future, aside from this program in Italy, what do you see for your future?
Well, my intentions is I'm already a band leader in Trinidad and Tobago. So costume is first and foremost, so costume design is first and foremost the way that I'm heading.
Right.
So when I come back from school, I intend to use whatever knowledge that I may gain while I'm in Italy, because it is one of the fashion.
Mecca is almost like a fashion Mecca in the world.
It's a fashion capital.
Yeah, that's right. You said something very important there, and you said something very important there, and not many people think the way you do, but you said like when you finish your program there, you're going to come back to Trinidad and Tobago and use the knowledge you've learned to improve the fashion industry here. Many times when people from Trinidad and Tobago study abroad in whatever field, oftentimes you hear of them staying abroad, and we have what is called a little bit of a brain drain. So, it's really good to hear that your intention is to come back. So, Yanke, what do you say is before we close off, what do you say is your ultimate goal?
Well, my ultimate goal is to, as I said before, go all there and absorb as much as I could. Yeah. So I'm going to fashion school. I'm going to further my studies in fashion styling and communication. Fashion design has always been a passion. And come back and apply it into collections and also into costume design and so on.
Well, Yanke, I'm hoping that the future brings, all the best for you on that. Like, you know, we will see Yen K next to names like Versace and Gucci and all these things in the future. You know, definitely with all the work and the work ethic you put in, you know, we expect a lot from you. And congratulations again on your scholarship, and we wish you the very best day.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for chatting with us, and hope you have a great morning. Yeah, Richie, so much happening. You know, so many good things coming out of Tobago there. You know, there's so many people in different areas and walks and fields, industries, and they're doing so well. You know, it's great to see our sister island, our twin island, you know, doing so well in many industries in the world.
Yeah, and I'm really proud to see what she is doing. I mean, you mentioned you want to see her name next to the big brands like Versace
and Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and
exactly.
Like that,
and Yen K, to see that name, it would be really good for us.
You know, and it has the name actually has a very cool look already.
Exactly.
You know,
I can see Rishi wearing a Yen K on the set of Now.
Well, so far, it seems that she designs women's clothes.
She will develop into something more. You know, development is the key. Talking about Tobago, I'm still bidding to go for the Dragon Boat.
Right. Yes. Or to go be a spectator or an athlete.
Well, let's take it one step at a time. Let me go as somebody who will be able to feed content back into the morning show.
Oh yes, again, you know, going and getting that knowledge out there and then bringing it back.
So you're sending me to work.
Yourself.
You know, it's not play, it's work.
Exactly,
I'm going to work. I'm going to burn in the sun to ensure that people get all of the vital information of everything that is happening with the Dragon Boat.
You keep telling yourself that, Rishi, and we'll continue to believe you're a philanthropist in regards to that.
Yeah, and well, hopefully Lisa is listening. Anyways, the Association of Female Executives in Trinidad and Tobago also took an opportunity to have a couch conversation with the Vice President of the Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago and the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, Brian Lewis. Now, Carrie, this is in relation to the empowerment of women.
You know, as we just came out of International Women's Day, it's really great to see that we have a continuing support and push for the empowerment of women.
Yeah, and so let's take in a little bit of what was said at that engagement.
According to the Vice President of the Bankers Association, Karen DeBasey, empowerment is taking control of your destiny. She said empowerment does not detract from being female.
You can be empowered, take control of your career, of your life, and maybe you don't want a career. Maybe what you want to be is a mother and a wife. And by all means, that should be if that's what you want, work towards it.
While examining the #Balance for Better theme, she said balance changes at different stages in a woman's life and career.
Things change in life, and your balance as a woman changes depending on what you need to do. You know, people talk about balance for better, but balance is a moving target. It's not the same at every point in your existence.
Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee President Brian Lewis, who has always been a strong advocate for women empowerment, said the change to make gender equality possible has to begin with society first.
One of the things that I've always found, not with females like 80% in the room, but certainly a lot of men, when you get in positions of authority, instead of being part of the solution, you become part of the problem.
He also added that there must be a change in the culture.
And one of the things I really have an issue with is the hypocrisy that takes place in the conversations around women and females. Because the reality is that we are a patriarchal society. And women have it tough. And there are a lot of barriers placed in the way of women.
The two encouraged women to overcome their challenges and live their life based on what they want to achieve. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
Yeah, and we continue to empower women here in TTT as well. And we were just chatting, Carrie and I, and we didn't realize that so many females are the core of our management team. So you start with the chairman, is a female.
Right, yes.
Then you have our acting CEO, Lisa, is a female. The head of news, Sandra Mirage, is a female. Shamilia,
who's the head of production.
She's a female. Then you have Diane Roberts,
head of programming.
Exactly.
Right. Yes.
They outpowering us.
That's okay, and they're extremely competent in their works, and it's definitely great to see the kind of leadership we have because they've been doing an excellent job.
Exactly. So the females seem to be outnumbering the males in the management.
Girl power.
I just pictured Carrie with a bomb saying girl power. Anyways, we take a break and come back. Stay with us.
At TTT News, our journalists are on the ground seeking the facts and reporting on people, events, and the issues that affect your life. Our job is to deliver the most up-to-date news reports. We have Trinidad and Tobago covered. TTT News reaches further on any smart device. TTT News. Connect.
On any given day, at any given time,
you can have your say on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Call in, text in, send us an email.
All our shows are fully interactive.
Whether we're talking politics, sports,
Current affairs, social issues,
culture, and the arts, stay in the know
with our daily news bulletin and breaking news updates.
We're committed to keeping you informed about the world around you.
and yes, we entertain you too with the best kaiso,
steel pan, and local and regional music. We are your address for talk. Talk City 91.1 FM and TalkCity91FM.com.
The TTPS are on an intense surveillance patrol across Trinidad and Tobago, and a number of people are being caught by surprise.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you today?
Fine.
All right. Okay, let me see your driver's license and insurance, please. Ma'am, based on what I'm seeing here today, I'll have to give you a ticket. For being a good driver. And therefore, for being a good driver and obeying the laws, I want to give you 2 tickets to move it on. There you go.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes. For a shake hand, I'll take a shake hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exciting, fun, entertaining, informative, everything here on now.
Everything good, everything fun, everything.
Putting the bright spark in your morning. How does it go?
Yeah, putting that bright spark in your morning and adding that sunshine to your day.
What was that facial expression?
Hey, I have to make it look as genuine as possible because I mean it.
Oh, I would hope so.
Of course,
I would hope so.
Right?
Anyways, so remember we covered a lot of junior events during the carnival season. Well, the junior champs were in concert, and well, it is something that the Ministry of Education wants to make a staple. Yeah.
Right,
so
well,
let's check out this package as we see some of the performances from the junior champs in concert.
Carnival might be over, but joint junior secondary school Soca Monarch winner Stefan Cameo was still rising up at the Savannah.
I know we gonna raise the level up, 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 in the air, in the air, in the air, in the air. Look back now, we ready to raise up the place, raise up the place, heat in the place, raise up the place, heat in the place, and we party,
He was well supported by his schoolmates of St. Francis College, formerly Belmont Boys Secondary. But it was Avinder Singh, the primary school's junior chutney winner, who lit up the stage.
If your parents proud, let's go to school and learn. Aim for the stars, boy go to school and learn. Study very hard, boy go to school and learn. This Bubble buzzers. Fight the skies! Fight the skies!
Impressed by what he saw and with the positive feedback on the quality of content produced, Minister of Education Anthony Garcia said the show will return next year on the first Friday after Carnival. Speaking to reporters, he said the future of the art form is safe.
Because what we have seen and witnessed, simply the children are there holding the bandwagon, holding the flags, doing everything possible to ensure that our calypso, our traditional art forms are kept alive. In fact, if you listen to the calypso that was sung by the student from St. Mary's College, you would realize that calypso is alive and kicking.
Also on show was ex-tempo champion Kishon Philip with the runners-up.
Well, I feel all your men, well, all your fruity, all your only talking about me. I'm telling you, I wonder what is this, all you want to see right now, I give you some dreadlocks. You look like a man, that like a munch. You look like you just eat real plenty box lunch. Well, Brian Randa, name your Godzilla. Well, my nickname for you is Box Lunch Killer.
And gracing the stage one more time was primary school's panorama champs, Guayco Presbyterian Primary School. The winners and runners-up of the competitions were presented with certificates at the event. Ian Wason, TTT News.
Maximize your impact when you advertise on TTT Live Online. With TTT Live Online, your brand can be seen by viewers in TNT and all around the world via our social media pages. Our audience is growing every day. TTT Live Online has reached over 260,000 followers across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can bet they're watching. Our statistics show the live stream of the Now Morning Show reaches tens of thousands of viewers each day. Our news and entertainment pieces draw hundreds of thousands of views across all platforms. And you have an opportunity to be integrated into or featured alongside all this amazing content. Are you ready to maximize impact? Contact our sales team now. Call 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
And we are back here on the Now Morning Show here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live Online and TTT.live. And we are still on the topic of empowering women because we're celebrating women all month this month. And with me this morning is Yelena, and she's a singer. Good morning, Yelena. Sorry, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Now, you have a single that you just made, and you know it's no small feat to be a performing artist in any genre of music, and your specific genre of music is gospel music.
Yes.
So tell me, how has it been, from where did you get the concept from doing your first single and, moving forward, how does it feel?
Well, with regard to Flawless, it came about with the fact that, a lot of people tend to have, or media, I should say, portray a particular ideal as to what beauty is. So, because of that, women would tend to compare themselves and realize that they don't measure up. They don't make the cut, they don't qualify, right? So
for these unrealistic ideals that media
yes, you
sets.
have to be a particular complexion, you need to have a particular hair texture, certain size, and all these different things. So the reason for this song was to just encourage everybody that, God made you after his own image and likeness, and if he is perfect and he is flawless, then you are too. We just need to see it and look at all these different ideals that we tend to find that we're bombarded with everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's always the topic of shaming in the very various forms.
Yes.
And, just some people putting other people down.
Yeah.
And I guess your song speaks to that.
Yes.
Did it come from personal experience?
Oh yes, it definitely came from personal
You
experience.
want to open up on that a little bit?
Yeah, no, sure. Based on like how I was born, like I would have had a number of surgeries and stuff like that, and because of that, children tend to look at you and be like, well, you don't have exactly, and you have these scars, and you have, but then naturally, and you're always made fun of or picked on, or
And children can be mean.
they can be very mean. So
right.
with that is too where it came from, also personal experience as well as what it is that we see everywhere around us.
All right, so let's cue up the music, and we're going to have you perform Flawless to take us to the top of the show. I want to thank everybody for watching this morning. Lisa, Rishi, myself. Lisa is out of studio today, but she's in office. And, we're going to leave you with the sounds of Yelena and with her single, Flawless. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, serve the King. We're all standing for the Almighty. 3 and 4, sin no more. We're not gonna walk up on that path at all. Ladies represent 11 rights and your heaven sent. Book smart, Bible taught, Christ in your heart and your living. My crew not gonna follow no crowd. Righteousness on fleek like rose. Sanctified and Jesus proud. So we hit him up loud. Foundation in Christ now crack up. Consistency strong like backup. Jesus Christ is the highlight. If you're with me, shine your light bright. Flawless, flawless in Jesus Christ. We are flawless, flawless in Jesus' eyes. It don't matter your skin color. It don't matter your hair texture. It don't matter who you are, 'cause we are flawless. Flawless, yeah. Some of us, we struggle with beauty, insecure by the odd figurines. What perfection is not a factor, so we hit them up loud. Self-love right now is the answer. Can't forget my natural sisters. No makeup but pretty like flowers. Fancy the way that you are. We are flawless, flawless in Jesus Christ. We are flawless, flawless in Jesus' eyes. It don't matter your skin color. It don't matter your hair texture. It don't matter who you are, 'cause we are flawless. Ladies, your beauty is not their opinion. Owning what you got will become your decision. It's alright that you feel that way.
Ranking Production, a new era in media. Our professional services include videography, cinematography, photography, aerial videography, and television production. We provide expert coverage of weddings, concerts, sporting events, graduations, corporate functions, music videos, ads, lectures, christenings, parties, and portraits. Contact us today. Ranking Production, capturing your memorable moments in life.
Is your child preparing for the SEA exam? Get the ultimate tool for total SEA success. The SEA Suite from JJ & Friends. For students in standards 3 to 5, develop their mathematical skills, help them get a greater grasp of comprehension, and build a stronger creative writing foundation.